Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I should see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. I don't know what happened to my voice there, but yeah, we're relaxing, all cool, chilling, relaxing outside of school. Hold on, I recorded a load of episodes yesterday on the weekend, to be honest. I built my backlog up to like 2 weeks again, just like over 3 days, which is crazy. Mainly because I recorded a load of Beacon Pines. My God, Beacon Pines goes up to the 24th. And unpacking is finished, by the way. You might be like, what's going to follow on from unpacking? I think I've chosen the game. You know, I'm kind of slowly sort of running out of puzzle-esque games to play, or I'm not sure what order to play them in. But anyway, good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 7:06 p.m. on Monday, August 7th, 2023. I guess I'll just tell you. I mean, like, this is your reward for watching the Animal Crossing episodes, as you get sneak previews into the other series. But currently, what I have planned after unpacking is Railbound. I was originally going to put another game between unpacking and Railbound because it feels weird going from Cosmic Express, unpacking, and then another rail-based game. And originally it was going to be Oh, did I just not upload these Tunic videos? Hold on, I'm just like looking in my videos folder. I think I just forgot to upload those Tunic videos, which is fine, I'll do that afterwards. But originally it was going to be Gris, because I was like, there's a decent chance that... Where is my... denying stuff? Here we go. There was a reasonable chance that unpacking would have finished in July, and I was like, okay, Gris is my sort of like backup puzzle game plan for something which will be something I can draw a splash art, a thumbnail out of in like probably an hour or two, because I don't want to do a lot of drawing for the channel in July. But then, you know, it was just like, you know, I'm going to keep Gris as a backup option, because I'm not like it's not like I've got anything against it necessarily, but I'm not like dying to play it or anything, so, you know, it's on the back burner. But one after Tunic... Now, the things after Tunic is going to be very interesting, because that one I'm definitely sort of running out of mechanical-based games. Like, what have I got as an options? I know what the next option is going to be. Tunic's not going to be over for a while, so it's going to be okay. I was meant to pick up some more games during the Steam summer sale, and I just legit forgot, so I just didn't pick anything up. I'm going to have to wait till the next sale to pick up some of these games again. But there are games, I just don't own them yet, which are probably going to be on the list. But the one following on from Tunic, I guess it'll be for a while, so I don't need to tell you that yet. And Beacon Pines is probably coming to an end soon, and I have an idea of what game I'm going to play next. After Beacon Pines, there's going to be probably Imposter Factory, which will be interesting, because this is one of the few times that I'm going to be playing a sequel, but haven't played the original games, I suppose. I guess I kind of did that with Babra's U, where I played the expansion pack, but I didn't play the base game on the channel. But Imposter Factory is the sequel to the Moon and what's it called, Finding Paradise, which are both fantastic games, which I really like. So Imposter Factory would just be number 3 on that list. But I think it should probably be fine enough to, you know, play without having played the first two. I played them so long ago, I don't really remember. But you know, there you go. Probably I need to get started on thumbnail out of a Railbound, because unpacking is finished on Friday. So, you know, at least this weekend I need to finish a thumbnail out of a Railbound, which it's not too bad. I've looked at the art style, of course, and it's not incredibly complicated. At least it's a cartoony art style, which is something I'm very comfortable with. But yeah, what should we talk about today? That's just a bit of preamble, I suppose. Not meta narrative, but not narrative. What's a word? I mean, I guess it is kind of meta commentary about the channel. What should we talk about, though? Why don't we talk about... I'm trying to pluck a random conversation now. Topic out of nowhere. Bubble tea? Have I ever... That's a good question. Have I ever spoken about bubble tea before? Bubble. I've never spoken about bubble tea before. That's crazy. Okay, let's talk about bubble tea. Well, I mean, bubble tea is kind of like a much more new craze, which is interesting to say, because it has... I don't know if it's been long for a long while in China, but I feel like I've heard of it for a while in like East Asia at least. I was like aware of it. I'm gonna guess, when was bubble tea first made? 2008. That's my guess. That might even be like far too recent. I'm gonna be honest, but it feels like it's really taken off in the most recent days. Let's see. Oh, 1980s. Whoa. It was way earlier than I thought it was. Brought to US in 1990s. And I feel like it's only really gotten pretty popular recently. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know if Wikipedia's got like when it became super popular. Because it feels weird because I've not really had it, like, but like, the first time I had bubble tea, let me think. When's the first time I had bubble tea? It might have been in university. I'm not really sure. No, I mean I might have had it in China like once or twice, but like I like don't remember it very well. But it definitely is in university times. I think is when I had it more commonly because there was this like Chinese restaurant not too far from like my accommodation, which I got a discount at for being a student, so we went there sometimes and they would sell bubble tea as one of the options, and I was like, well, sure, why not? But yeah, bubble tea is like a Taiwanese invention, if I recall. If you've never had it, it's basically like the standard bubble tea is like a milk tea with small tapioca balls in the actual tea itself, and you might be like, that's strange, but I mean it's not like the strangest thing to have like solid bits inside a drink. I think like orange juice with bits is like the same. It's not really the same sort of thing, but it's along a similar sort of line. And the tapioca balls are mostly quite flavourless. Like tapioca doesn't have a particularly strong taste, I would say. It's mostly just sort of like the texture of it, I suppose. But bubble tea has evolved a lot, to be more than just milk tea, I suppose, as the beverage, as the solvent. You can also have juices, which are very common as well, and you can have fizzy juices as well. And then the tapioca balls, the solute, is also quite, has a lot of variety as well. You obviously got the base normal tapioca balls, but you also can have like juice filled balls or whatever with different fruit juices and stuff inside of them. I don't really have like a bubble tea place near me, at least that I know of, but the places that I frequently go to like watch cinema or like go out with friends to those areas, there is bubble tea nearby. And you might be like, how much do you like bubble tea? I like it, but again, I don't tend to drink too much apart from water, to be perfectly honest. Like I drink alcohol in social situations. I mean, if I'm out in a restaurant, maybe I'll have a drink of something which is not water, but at home I get no cravings for like a non-water drink, to be honest. The closest is maybe sometimes I could go some tea or milk right now, but most of the time I just drink water. But I do like bubble tea. I think it's quite nice, and it's cool to see the sort of like variations of flavour and stuff which come along with it. I think nowadays people think it as a very sort of like, I don't know, I'm not going to say trendy drink, like basic drink, but like in a derogatory term, which is I think unfair, because I mean bubble tea is still a pretty adventurous drink, even if it is quite a common thing nowadays for people to be like, hey, you want to get some bubble tea? And you might be like, what's your thoughts on it being so popular? You're Chinese, aren't you, dear darling? And I'm like, well, actually I'm kind of like mainland Chinese, so I don't think it's really my place to say, because it's a Taiwanese invention, but I like it. it's tasty. If you like it, then more power to you. Drink it up, to be honest. And I'm sure you can get lots of different variations of it. You might be like, what's the best bubble tea you've ever had? There was this one bubble tea I had. Amusingly, it wasn't from Taiwan. I think it was actually from Japan. I had like a really good one. It was like some famous brand, or some brand which newly opened up in Japan. I can't remember, because it was really popular when they had like a shop for it in Shibuya. It was something called like Tiger bubble tea. I can't remember, but you could get like all these different variants of like bubble tea, and like normal, like you get normal bubble tea, but you can get like these extra things in it as well. There was like this like a full combo one, which was like regular like milk bubble tea with tapioca balls, and then also like bits of like jelly in it, and then also like brown sugar. Like I don't know if it's like dissolved or mixed in as well. And I was like, I'll get that. And this is my opinion. Okay, milk bubble tea. Milk tea in general, fantastic. Love milk tea. Can't get enough of it. Tapioca balls in a milk tea, or tapioca balls in general, in any sort of drink, fine. I like it as well. It kind of depends on the drink it's with. I wouldn't put, tapioca balls in like juices, I'm like more on, but I think it works better in milk tea. But the juice balls work really well in other juices, I would say. I would say the jelly things, I'm going to be like, that's a pass on me. I don't think I don't hate them or anything, but I don't think I get enough from them to be like, yeah, this is worth it in a drink. Because for one thing, the tapioca, this is such like a minor thing, the tapioca balls are spherical, they're round, they're soft and squishy in that sense. But the jelly balls, well, they're not balls for one thing, they're like cubes, if anything, they're like diced. It's kind of like really hard tofu, I suppose, in your bubble tea. But the thing is, they don't really have any flavour. What, like, tapioca, low on flavour in the first place, but it has a flavour. The gelatin ones just like don't have flavour, they're just like sort of texture. And I'm like, I don't know. It's not a texture I'm looking for in my drink. Maybe if they had the same texture as tapioca balls, but different, or no flavour, I'd be more for it, but still. And then the final thing, brown sugar in a bubble tea, fantastic. Brown sugar should be in bubble tea. It's just like a given. it's really good. I like brown sugar, you know. Is it my favourite taste? I guess not. Like, of the sweet things, my favourite taste is still honey. I've never tried a honey bubble tea. I don't know if that's a thing, but, yeah. Is that a brand? Is it called like Tiger Bubble Tea? Tiger Bubble Tea Japan. It's Tiger something. Tiger Sugar, that's it. Was it in Harajuku? That seems right. I mean, you can search it yourself. Tiger milk? What? Tiger Sugar Japan. I think it was, yeah, it was this one. You can see it where I mean, it's called Tiger Sugar because the sugar, I suppose, pattern on the cup makes it kind of look like tiger stripes. I assume that's why it's called that. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty good. So I'd say when I say you should go out your way to get it if you're in Japan, depends how much you like bubble tea. I wouldn't say it's like worth. I mean, it's in Harajuku, so you might as well go there because Harajuku is kind of cool. But it's not like if it was like in some remote area or something. I wouldn't go out completely out of your way just to get it unless you're on like some bubble tea pilgrimage, which, in case, fair enough. But I thought it was pretty nice. I did have bubble tea in Taiwan as well, but I have been to Taiwan only once actually. Japan I've been to twice. Is that right? Yeah, I've been twice. But I suppose it's just interesting to see about like how common it is now for people just to be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go grab some bubble tea or whatever. It's like, I don't know, because it's always been something that I've seen, I suppose, around. I think in China, but like I've never really had all that often, and now it's just like very commonplace now. Like I feel like sushi is along that sort of lines as well, because I feel like when I was much younger, sushi was not very common for like a meal thing, but now people are like, you want to go get sushi or whatever, it's very common. And you might be like, are you saying that's a bad thing? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You know, I think it's awesome. You know, but more people can try like cuisines and cultures of cuisines from different cultures. You know, that's like it's kind of like the great part of it, I suppose, about food. And you know, food certainly one of the more universal languages, along with music and I don't know, art. So it's sort of like if there's a tasty invention in one area, why not let other people also try it as well? You know. Yeah, bubble tea. We actually made bubble tea. Well, I say we. I didn't make it, but basically for my friend's birthday, last year, he quite likes food. So basically, and I've talked about it before. Like this circle of friends, the small circle of friends, we basically there's 4 of us, and for each of each other's birthdays, then we do. Wait, is this a new recipe? No way. No way you gave me a new recipe. Of what? Golden Dharma? Apollo. That's crazy. It's been ages since I got a new recipe from a crafter, but yeah, we there's 4 of us and we just do something like for each other's birthdays. We like create something for each other's birthdays every year. I don't know what we're gonna do, you know, because it's coming up to my birthday in about a month. I don't know what we're gonna do for my friend's birthdays either, but we'll have to see how that works out. And they've been pretty big in the past, but nowadays are a lot smaller in scale because we just don't have enough time anymore. But yeah, last year we basically just made him like a load of food. I did desserts, so I made like 2 cakes for him. I made like a carrot cake and I don't even remember what the other cake was, Victoria sponge, I think. And then some of the main meal, like the other 2 did. And one of the components was bubble tea, like a homemade bubble tea. And apparently it's very easy to make bubble tea. You know, you just make some milk tea, like you boil it on the stove or something, add some amount of sugar, from what I recall. And you can just buy like the tapioca balls, just like, I think he just bought it from Amazon or something. They come like, I don't know if it was freeze dried or vacuum sealed or whatever, but they come dehydrated of some sorts, which you can eat by itself. Like you could just pop it in your mouth, but it's very chewy and I wouldn't recommend it. But they just like, We just absorb all the milk, I suppose, and you just like put it into the milk tea itself, and you know it worked really well. As you know, I remember drinking it, being like, yeah, this bubble tea like slaps. What can I say? So I guess it's ironic. I mean, not ironic necessarily talking about bubble tea, but you know, I feel like most people who have bubble tea quite frequently probably have like a go-to drink, which I have. So there's this bubble tea place near that same friend actually I'm talking about. So oftentimes when we meet up, he'll be like, hey, do you not want bubble tea? And then he'll be like, what flavors do you want, or whatever. And I say the same thing every time. Surprise me, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm sure it's very annoying at the same time, but it's also like I don't really mind what I get. You know, I'm very open to trying literally anything. Sometimes I get really cool things, and sometimes I get things which don't work as well. I remember one of the times I got, the most recent time, it was like some fizzy drink with some very strange taste and combination, which the first times I was drinking, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this all that much, but then I kept drinking it, and I was like, you know, it's grown on me, I like it now. But I don't remember what most of the flavours I've gotten, to be perfectly honest now, so I can't even tell you what my favourite would be. Probably my favourite would just be a milk tea, because I just like milk tea. I like the milk tea bubble teas better than the fruit juice bubble teas, but I will say I do like the fruity juicy boba more than the tapioca boba. And that's maybe, I don't know, maybe because they're just a bit more exciting on their own. The tapioca ones, again, only really work with milk tea, I think, but hey ho. I think it's kind of cool, you know, bubble tea's a fun little, like, I'm not sure invention's the right word, but I guess it's an invention. I don't remember what I was going to say about this. It's fun, you know. It's fun to have like a bit more of an exciting drink, a textured drink, shall we say? Well, you know, you have a bit more of excitement, I suppose, while drinking it. And you get, you know, the super big straws as well to be able to suck up tapioca balls. But sometimes, you know, they get stuck because the tapioca balls get like stuck together and they're like too wide to actually like properly fit in the straw, and you have to sort of like finesse it so that they like go in laterally through the straw or whatever, you know, things like that, or you break them up with like a big straw. And it's always fun to, you know, get your bubble tea drink and then you like pierce it by like stabbing the big straw through the film on the top. Pro tip for you, if you don't do that a lot, you should definitely keep your thumb over the top of the straw, you know, keep that pressure high in the straw so it's solid enough to actually like pierce through, and just do one fell swoop, whoosh, straight through the middle. I wonder why bubble tea sold in that sort of container. Is that a thing? Do bubble tea shops should do what coffee shops do now, like Starbucks does, where you can just give them your cup and they just fill it up for you. That feels like it should be a thing. Like you should be able to get these reusable bubble tea cups with your own straw or something, right? Especially bubble tea is getting more and more popular. Like, why not? It feels like it should be a given. Anyway, bubble tea is like nice, and maybe it's a bit of a fad, I suppose, thing right now. But I quite like it. If you don't like it, if you've never tried it, well, okay, well, no, hold on. If you've never tried it, give it a go. If you like tea, go for a milk tea one. And if you don't like tea, you prefer juice, then go for a juice one. You know, I don't think there's any need to be beholden to trying the more traditional style of bubble tea. And if you don't like it, then fair enough. You know. I can understand. It's very much a very understandable thing why you wouldn't like it. Is very simple option is I don't want something solid in my drink. Fair enough. It's kind of like the definition of a drink is by liquid. Well, it's not really the definition of a drink. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. But the expectation of a drink is for it to be liquid. So the same reason that you might not like pulp in your orange juice. Why not have boba in your milk tea as well? How about something like that? I don't really know where I was going with this. Is there anything else to really cover about bubble tea? I guess like a fun fact for you, it's not called bubble tea in Chinese, it's called Zhenju Nai Cha. I said that completely wrong. Zhenju Nai Cha, which just means like pearl tea. So, I don't know. Why is it called bubble? I guess, you know, bubble is just like a bit more catchy phrase than pearl tea, but still. Is that right? Zhenju Nai Cha? Or boba Nai Cha? I guess because boba sounds like bubble. I don't know if boba actually... Does boba mean bubble? It means boba. Makes sense. I can't believe it was made in the 1980s. It simultaneously feels both too early and too late for it to be invented. Because I was like, if you told me it was like early 2000s, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. If you told me it was like 1920s, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But 1980s was incorrect somehow. I don't know why. I'm just sort of looking at this stuff. Wow, this was a bubble tea and a light bulb. I had the light bulb drinks in Japan though, although it was just normal juice, so it wasn't bubble tea. 1990s bubble tea, US. 2021, a shortage of tapioca balls. Is that when bubble tea really kicked off? I don't know. When did bubble tea get popular? 2019? It's not, UK's not even on here. Tea get popular in UK. 2011. It wasn't until April 2011 that British got onto the bubble tea bandwagon. Was that really the timing? I don't know. 2011, 10 years ago. Is that about right? Oh, and I started drinking it in university? I probably started drinking it before then. Well, not... Actually, no, that's not true. I definitely only started drinking it in university. I say frequent, not even that frequent. I don't really know what I was going with this. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. I don't really have all that much to say about bubble tea, it turns out. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Day Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.